Three notes. Some of the abnormal increases for 2010. These are things over which we have, I'd say, very little control. We have no control. The first one is the new MTA tax that's being passed on to all the municipalities up here in this wonderful region up here, and we are stuck with that, at least for the moment. We know there are great fights going on with that. I have no notification as of right now from the state as to what Goshen's portion is. One of the other municipalities received theirs the other day, and it was right around the 50,000 mark, and so I'm going to assume, for all intents and purposes, ours may fall in that range. I can't know until I get it. I will be calling the state tomorrow, and I'll call that municipality on Monday to see if they've had any further dialogue, so we can try to pinpoint that's an amount that will have to go back in the budget.
Hey, Bill, not to mention the municipality.
Yes, and I won't.
But would you say it's a conflict?
About the same size.
I think it's about the same size municipality, yeah. And so that's what leads me to believe we're going to be somewhere between 40 and 60, right in that ballpark. I hope it's less than that. SCARs. At this point, we have an approximate $47,000 that the town has to give back to taxpayers, and that comes out of our mortgage tax. That's the way the county handles it. At this point, through August, our mortgage tax that will be coming up, and I think it's due in November, will be adjusted. Whatever the amount is, will be reduced by the $47,000 plus any others that come up between that August date, I think it was August 18th, and the date that they issue the check. So we don't know what that number is either, but we know that it's $47,000 at this point, but we don't know what the final check will be for.
But we're looking between $200,000 and $225,000 for the mortgage tax for the year, correct?
For the year. Yeah,
we had budgeted $510.
Right. Third item under note 1 is the GASB 45. That's Government Accounting Standards Board mandates and pronouncements that tells us that we now have to budget for and put on our books an estimated amount for retirement for the current year, each year that we're in. What happens there when they assess us and they bill us, they are always about 9 months behind. They are April 1st through March 31st based on wages. And since we're in a current year, they can't know what those wages are yet, so they can only bill us up to the point where they have actual recorded wages. So they're always a little behind on what they bill us. That says that should all town employees decide in that year to leave, we would need to true up to the state the portion we would have paid in that year. Okay, so that, we don't know what that is either. We have to have an actuary come and take an entire study and see what that is. Once we establish that amount, that'll be a very close number every year, and that won't really go up much. It won't impact much. It'll impact a little bit this year because it's new.
Will we be billed for that, or how does that work?
I'm not sure on that. Again, I don't have all the details on the GASB pronouncement to see what that's going to happen with us on what we have to do.
Because
it's not a billing. I don't think we have to pay it ahead as though it's going to happen. I think it's just that we have to show it as a book item. I don't think it's a cash item. Unfortunately, it has to become a budget item, which becomes a tax item.
they'll give us the formula, right?
Yes.
Rather than an actuary, we'll get the formula, and then every year we can work off the formula.
We can just adjust ourselves each year. It's only 1 year actuary.
Okay.
So. Note number 2. We are projecting that the mortgage tax revenue, as Doug said, will be about half of what we budgeted. A good reason why is the $47,000 we're seeing being taken out in the SCARS program, and that will continue to elevate through the rest of the year. If we add that decrease this year to last year's decrease in what we've been getting in mortgage tax, and 07 was a slight decrease over 06, we're looking at about a $450,000 decrease in our mortgage revenue since the end of 06. So 07, 08, and this year really has been taking gradual and significant hits. $500,000. Note 3, we are using the remaining money that's in our parkland funds. We did this last year to pay for that year's principal and interest on debt. That was relative strictly to acquiring and improving the parklands. That's parkland money, and that's all it can be used for. It can be used for other park items that cannot be used for other town government items. And to take the stress off our tax burden, we're using it against the debt service so that doesn't have to be passed on to the taxpayer. We'll do that again this year, but then we're out of the parkland money. And we do anticipate going forward we'll take more parkland monies in. but this year it takes us right down to just about $1,000, but we are able to put that in once again to offset that principal interest payment on those 3 bands. That's helpful. I am showing that what's made up. It's $185,000 of parkland. The A fund will get $62,000. B fund will get $123,000 of that money to offset their principals and interest, and that's just how it's portioned out. So you have no. The 2 capital notes we went over last week, and I just left them on there as a reminder. Those 2 capital items are what we increased the highway funds to their roads. And
one other item I don't see on here, and that's our contribution to the 2010 pension fund increase to make up for monies lost.
Well, that's already in the budget, and it's about $10,000.
You already had that in?
Yeah, that wasn't a change.
Okay.
I had already put that in.
For the public and for anybody else, that one of the items we've had to overcome is the New York State Pension Fund lost money for the stock market decline and whatnot. And so they've increased our contribution to that. And, for example, for the police department, it's 18%. So 18 cents for every dollar we pay for a patrolman, 18 cents goes to that retirement fund.
That's correct.
And I mean,
To make up retirement.
no, that's the
Okay.
whole number. It's going up, but that's the...
And the projection is, again, another percentage for the next year. The retirement,
About 3%.
So it's expensive.
3.1.
The increase is 3.1%.
That'll likely happen again next year. So the retirement, the workers' comp,
2.18%.
We have to jump at Wisconsin.
Well, yeah, there's other things that are in here, but Lou makes a very good point, workers' comp.
Well, I mean,
No, it's
it's a big jump, and I can see some of
It
it
should be-
is not as big as workman's comp.
that's correct.
no,
Workers'
it's not. The
comp,
workers' comp
I
is
mean,
the
if
big.
you look at capital Norfolk Highway for the machine, went from 150 to 165, which is 15,000. For workman's comp,
we put those numbers in there for you so you see that we're possibly doing.
well, I want you to know, it's not that.
Yeah.
I
No,
just want the public to know
you're
there's
exactly
other
right.
items that are much, much bigger.
Right.
Okay.
I think what Bill is doing tonight is he just shared with me on the pensions, if it's already in there, these are changes since our last draft.
Right.
See? These are changes since the last draft.
Oh, no, okay.
And so these are not changes that we had in the first and second draft.
Did not have, and again,
Which ones? Scars weren't, MTA tax wasn't, gas pen.
right, yes, I covered those last time.
He
I
said
just left them there.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah, we're good. Okay.
When you've done it, I'll have a question. Okay. Going to page number 3, so I can understand this better, the police department. The expenses, I see 16,000 on the bottom, that's a plus.
That's an increase in expense, yes.
Increase, because we asked them to decrease, I think, Phil, you said you wanted to look for 150,000.
150,000.
Well, that's what we talked about.
No, I just want to understand this better. So the only things that were really deducted here are the things that are in parentheses. The car lease is something added, am I correct? Or
That's in it.
Because at first when I looked at it, I thought we were doing away with the car lease, but not that you had to, I'm just...
It's the only way we're talking about cash flow, we needed 2 cars. If we get the grant that we were promised, we'll do away with it, but in lieu of paying $30,000.
Oh, no, I agree with it. No, when I saw the amount, at first I thought these were all the deductions that the chief...
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was trying to
We
get.
got the deduction, but we got more.
This net change was what the chief, this was his change.
That was his change.
There were cuts plus an add back on one line item.
I just wanted to understand, so what I thought was really happening.
That's what that
Okay.
That's what's really happening.